Hi guys, and welcome back to another Shore Water Sports board review. Today we are looking at another LSD. So this is the LSD TEX model. This is Luke Short designed TEX, which is his small wave board. Now we do have the 20 as well, which is designed for a bit more performance, but again, still in that small wave UK focused sort of shape. But the TEX, which is what we're going to be looking at today, really is that pure small wave board. Now, Luke Short Designs, or Luke Short, as the guy's known him, shapes these boards. He's pretty new to this sort of scene and perhaps doesn't have the same international following as some of the big guys from Australia. However, he's been around a very long time. He's based in New South Wales, Australia, and really has made boards for some of the best up-and-coming young surfers in the world. So we've got guys like Julian Wilson, Noah Dean, Matt Banting, all riding his boards and his shapes, but perhaps never really made it to progress as international as some of the other big shapers like JS, DHD and stuff. So really good pedigree in the shapes, and definitely when we first saw these, we were really happy with what they look like, and think that for the UK market, especially when we have pretty suboptimal waves, he's offering something for everybody here. So the TEX is, again, as I say, that small wave board. It really is designed for probably from knee to sort of face high faces, I suppose. And in this sort of sector of small wave boards, you have a big range now. So you have something like a Lost beanbag at one end, which is really that very relaxed, super small wave board. And then you go right the way up to sort of a JS Black Baron right at the top end, all counted as small wave boards. We sort of think this sort of shape, which is that sort of very full, still with a slight bit of performance sort of design, is the sweet spot. You know, it gives you that ability to catch those super small waves, but at the same time have the fun when you're out there. And definitely, yeah, we've been surfing this one, and we've been surfing that one, and definitely we've had some really good rides on it, and really enjoy the performance aspect in the smaller waves. So how does it do it? First of all, if we look at the rocker, it's going to be pretty flat throughout. So the whole board is pretty flat. Obviously a bit of nose rocker on that. Again, that's designed to give you the speed. So when you're in those flat sections or just trying to paddle in of a little bit of a double up or something like that, the extra paddle speed you get from that flatter rocker throughout is really going to help. The rail line, as if you look at the overall outline of the template of the board, and this is where we think it sits very nicely in that performance area. You're still getting a bit of sort of performance nose, I suppose, performance rail line up here. So that allows you, when you are trying to put in a turn or trying to, in that little pocket section, to push it round, it allows it to sort of grab the water a little bit better. If you have a big round nose, the problem is you're going to find that you're not going to be able to get that turn as critical as possible. Wide point of the board, we're sort of talking up here, so perfect for under the chest. It's where you want the volume for your super fast paddling. And then in terms of the rest of the rail line, it's quite relaxed until we get to this big fat squash right at the back here. Now the squash really is gives you that sort of spring and that push out of the turns. It sort of gives you that snap and the ability to really all of a sudden turn on sort of a 50p just to throw it round. And also, big thing is wave catching ability. Having that big tail block here, when you're trying to scrabble into a 2-footer, having that sort of space, really having that sort of extra width on the tail does make a big difference. Now in terms of the rails, so the performance of it, we've got a nice soft rail, but it does get really sharp at the end here. So if we're looking at the bottom of the board, you're going to find that the actual rail line here is nice and sharp. And again, it's all that performance when you're trying to do that turn, when you're trying to give it as much beans as possible, and you want to throw it round, having that sharp edge there really does make a big difference. In terms of the underside of the board, it's just a very relaxed single to double concave, and then all the boards come with a 5-fin future setup. Now in terms of the plugs in terms of the fins we've been using in the setup, predominantly on this little one here, which I think is a 5.6, we've been using some alpha fins, some Futures Alpha thruster set, John ones. We just found that gives a little bit more push, and as we've been trying to sort of get across, when you're surfing this in the suboptimal conditions like we have in the Witterings, you just want to get as many turns in as possible. You know, we live here in a place where we get pretty crummy wind swell, and you get a couple of big faces to hit, but you can't really run down the line or anything like that. So having the thruster set up with those slightly flexible fins to give a little bit of forgiveness really means you can push off the bottom as soon as you're up and riding, hit the first turn, and if you can get a couple more, that's fantastic, but at least you've always got one in there. Now in terms of quad, We would say probably going to be good if you're going to be learning or progressing in sort of maybe a bit more relaxed surf. So if you're surfing a wave that perhaps a little bit more open-faced or a little bit more relaxed, then in quad you're going to find that you're going to be able to get a little bit more straight line speed. And especially if you're just trying to catch those clean open-face waves, quad setup's going to be really good fun. And then yeah, thruster for if you are trying to put those turns in and have a good time on that sort of thing. So really the TEX is going to be designed for someone, or we've been getting guys to ride it and girls to ride it who a multitude of people really. This is going to be perfect for someone who's looking to move down off a mini mal or something like that. In the bigger sizes, we're packing a lot of volume here. So this one is 5'8" and we're talking 36 litres. So yeah, heaps of volume, and then we do go bigger than that as well, quite a lot bigger. So you're going to get loads of volume there. And probably going to be a little bit easier to surf as well than one, like sort of a fish or something like that. You're going to catch more waves. You're probably going to have a bit more fun. And don't be scared to maybe drop a size so than you usually would. So if you're looking at some of the higher levels of 6 foot, then you could go a little bit smaller. You're still going to pack loads of volume into this and have a great load of fun on it. Now, if you do surf a little bit more and you're sort of looking for that performance board, we think this shape is pretty similar to a Lost puddle jumper, perhaps without some wings and bits and bobs going on, a bit more of a clean outline. Definitely found it to be a little bit faster than a puddle jumper when you're riding it. Overall, in terms of comparing the two, the volume in this, you're getting a little bit more volume in the shorter board, in the shorter space, so probably a little bit wider, but certainly we found to be really springy. And when you get up and riding, you do feel that it's definitely more off your front foot, perhaps a little bit, really pushes around compared to a puddle jumper. But again, it's that sort of, if you're looking at a small wave performance board, then there's a lot of options, but for something, we think for this sort of model, and you can check out all the clips of Julian Wilson's thrashing around on it, it really offers something pretty good there. Now, in terms of construction, two different options in this. So we have the XF or just EPS model. So this is an epoxy core with a standard stringer, but obviously still in a EPS board. So that's going to give you the lightness. So it's nice and lightweight, so not too heavy, but at the same time going to be pretty sturdy, going to take a few knocks, and you're going to get a similar flex pattern-ish to a PU board. So if you're riding one of those currently, perhaps in a mini mal or a short board, and you want something that feels pretty traditional underfoot, go with the EPS version. Definitely going to have some good times on that. Now, if you're up for trying something a bit different, or you want something that's going to last a little bit longer and perhaps be a little bit more eco-friendly as well, LSD, along with a few other shapers out there, I think McCoy's also involved, has come together to create flax technology. So that's this one here. Flax is an EcoBoard Project Level 1 certified board. So that means it's been third-party certified to be as pretty green as you can make a surfboard like that allows it to be a lot more eco when you're riding it. Flax itself as a technology, which is what really matters, I suppose, in this point, making sure you're getting a performance board. It's an EPS core, so that's all cut to size and shape, then wrapped in the top here in the deck in a flax, which is sort of like, think about it like almost a t-shirt material, sort of a cotton material that runs the whole way of the deck. It gives you that rigidity throughout, so you're getting the impact protection on the deck, and it gives you the spring as well. And certainly this board, you stand up on it and it just like almost feels like it just wants to get going straight away. And yeah, we've been having a lot of fun on that. So that's the flax, or you've got it in the EPS, both available in all the sizes. Now, if you do need any hand with sizing or comparing or anything like that, you can jump onto short.co.uk. We have a full live chat feature, so you can check out, you can jump on there, ask us all the questions. We actually use these boards, we get out on the water and actually surf them in less than up to surf, admittedly, but we're on the water. Or you can drop us an email, if we're not on live chat at that exact moment, drop us an email, we're here to help. Finally, if you can, make it down to our store. We do have all of these boards in the shop, so you can come and do the underarm test, lay them out, compare them. We've got hundreds of these available, as well as many other brands, so hopefully we can definitely find something suitable. And finally, if you're watching on YouTube, don't forget to like and subscribe, and on there again, drop us a comment if you want any more information on this, if you want us to compare. Hopefully we're getting Luke across, so the designer of these boards, later in the year to talk us through a bit more. So if you do have any questions, want to ask him any exact questions, or compare it to other boards we may stock, do just jump on there and let us know. So yeah, that's the LSD TEX, available now here at Shore.